It is a sound you hear every single morning. You heard it when you got dressed. You hear it when you open your backpack, your suitcase, or zip up your jacket to fight the cold. It is the most ubiquitous mechanical device in modern history, the invisible gatekeeper of our clothing and our gear. But look closely at that tiny pull tab. There is a 90% chance you will see 3 specific letters stamped into the metal. YKK. These 3 letters don't just represent a brand, they represent a global empire. An empire that quietly conquered the world, sitting right under our noses, or rather, right under our waists. They manufacture over 10 billion zippers a year. That is enough to wrap around the earth 50 times over. How did a humble manufacturer from Tokyo destroy its American competition and become the king of fasteners? This isn't just a story about a zipper, it's a masterclass in ruthless efficiency and monopoly tactics. It's a story about how one company built a moat so wide and so deep that no one else can cross it. It begins with a man named Tadao Yoshida and a philosophy that sounds too good to be true. Welcome to the story of the cycle of goodness. Welcome to the invisible empire. In the world of business, a monopoly is usually a dirty word, but YKK controls roughly half of the entire global market. Think about that. From the $20 jeans at H&M to the $5,000 bag at Louis Vuitton, they all source their most critical component from the exact same Japanese company. They operate in 71 countries. They have 109 affiliated companies. They are a logistical superpower. But to understand this dominance, we have to look at what came before. In the 1930s, zippers were garbage. They were an American invention, but they rusted, they jammed, and they popped open in public. Manufacturers treated them as a cheap commodity, a throwaway item that didn't matter. YKK changed the game by treating the zipper not as a fastener, but as a precision instrument. They realized that a zipper is a force multiplier. If it fails, the entire garment fails. By perfecting this tiny mechanism, they didn't just sell a product, they sold trust. And as their trust grew, so did their scale. They built factories in every major market on Earth. Today, the scale of their production is so massive, it is statistically almost impossible to compete with them on price. But the secret to their success isn't just size, it's the philosophy behind it.
The year is 1934. Japan is rapidly industrializing. A young man named Tadao Yoshida is working in a trading company. Yoshida wasn't inspired by ancient samurai codes. He was obsessed with an American steel tycoon, Andrew Carnegie. He read Carnegie's biography and found a concept that would become the DNA of his company. He realized that profit shouldn't be squeezed out of the customer, it should be shared with them. He founded San S. Shokai, which would eventually become the titan we know as YKK. While his American competitors were trying to maximize short-term profits, Yoshida was obsessed with shrinking the tolerance levels of his machines. He believed that if the product was perfect, the profit would naturally follow. And he was right. As the quality of his zippers went up, the demand skyrocketed. He wasn't just building a business, he was digging a defensive moat that would last for a century. But a philosophy is just words until you put it into practice. He called this practice Zen no Junkan, the cycle of goodness. And this is the engine that drives the monopoly.
The concept is deceptively simple. No one prospers unless he renders benefit to others. Yoshida believed that if he improved his manufacturing to lower costs, he shouldn't keep the money. Instead, he would give that saving back to the customer by lowering the price. Lower prices mean more sales. More sales mean you need bigger factories. Bigger factories create economies of scale, which lowers the cost even further. It is a ruthless feedback loop. Lower cost, lower price, higher volume, repeat. By constantly passing savings to the customer, he made it mathematically impossible for competitors to survive. Why would you buy a generic zipper when the best zipper in the world is also the cheapest? He didn't kill his rivals with lawsuits, he killed them with pure, unadulterated efficiency. This cycle turned YKK into a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and faster every year. But to keep this cycle running, you need total control. And that leads us to their most closely guarded secret. Philosophy is nice, but execution is everything. YKK practices extreme vertical integration. Most companies are assemblers. Apple buys screens from Samsung. Ford buys tires from Michelin. YKK does not do this. They smelt their own brass. They mix their own alloys. They weave their own polyester tape. They dye their own thread. They even manufacture the cardboard boxes that the zippers are shipped in. But it goes deeper. YKK manufactures the machines that manufacture the zippers. They don't buy equipment, they build it, and they keep the designs locked inside a black box. By hiding their machine designs, they ensure that no one else on Earth can replicate their speed. By controlling every atom of the supply chain, they eliminated outside variables. No late shipments, no bad batches, no excuses. This total control allows them to achieve a consistency that is statistically almost perfect. And for the fashion industry, this consistency is worth more than gold. Which brings us to the final reason why they rule the world. Imagine you are a luxury brand. You sell a handbag for $5,000. The zipper itself costs maybe 30 cents. A generic competitor might cost 15 cents. Is it worth saving 15 cents to risk destroying a $5,000 product? Because if the zipper fails, the customer doesn't blame the zipper maker, they blame you. They blame the brand. The entire reputation of the garment is ruined by one cheap part. Fashion houses pay the YKK tax as an insurance policy. They're buying peace of mind. Nike, Adidas, Louis Vuitton, Supreme, they all agree on one thing. The zipper cannot fail. It must work, every single time, forever. And YKK is the only company that can promise that. Tadao Yoshida's cycle of goodness proved true. By perfecting the smallest detail, he built a giant. He didn't just build a monopoly, he zipped up the world, one tooth at a time.